I'm going to use food to explain how Rec Room plagiarized an entire game and thought nobody would care. In case you've been living under a rock, Rec Room released a new game called Make It to Midnight. It's a horror type game where a killer clown chases you down and your job is to repair 3 generators to power up the doors so that you can escape. If this concept sounds familiar, that's because it's the same concept as the game Dead by Daylight. Scary killer, generators, door. To best understand all of this though, we have to imagine that Rec Room is a restaurant. Now, Rec Room has been serving some really good dishes for the past few years, like pasta ball, golden toasty, and Isle of the Lost tortilla chips. But then, they make an announcement that they're gonna add something new to the menu. So you get super excited to see what kind of new food they're going to release. And then the day comes and they say, we're proud to present our brand new dish, Make It to Midnight. We started with a dough foundation. Next, we put on a layer of tomato sauce. Then comes your choice of pepperoni or sausage. And lastly, we topped it all off with cheese. Hold on, this looks exactly like the pizza that Dead by Daylight serves down the street. Ah, see, that is where you're wrong. This isn't pizza. This is Make It to Midnight. If I make a ham sandwich and call it Minecraft, that doesn't change the fact that it's still a ham sandwich. This is just a worse version of pizza. No, it's Make It to Midnight. Look, you literally use this same minigame to shred your cheese. Your perk toppings are the exact same as Dead by Daylight's. The only difference is they offer a lot more than just pepperoni and sausage. Your serving size is the same as theirs. I mean, if you at the very least put inspired by Dead by Daylight on the box, or even in any of the posters and advertisements, it would be slightly better. But you're not even acknowledging the fact that you just recreated the same dish as them. Look, I get it, not all food needs to be unique. Every dish doesn't have to be completely new, but this is pure plagiarism. You can't really copyright food, so legally you're free to do this, but morally you shouldn't. A whole bunch of your customers are already making food for your restaurant. A lot of them are serving other people's dishes, but that's fine because they're not the professional chefs. They're just having fun cooking. But you are the chef. We look to you to create these new dishes for us to enjoy and not just to make worse versions of what's already out there. Look, I'm sure this is good, but I would just rather go eat at Dead by Daylight's. Your customers have been very patient waiting for you to create new dishes. And when you made those horrible ones, we still came to your restaurant. But it doesn't even seem like you hear our feedback. We've been asking for another seasoning for the Rec Royale dish for years, or even for you just to add more plate options to laser tag. But instead of doing any of that, you make this. Why? Hold on, there was a bug in the pizza. We'll go take care of that. Ah! This is what the problem is. Rec Room just recreated an existing idea and played it off as their own. There's only one scenario that I can even imagine that would make this become a reality. So, altogether, we've seen a 8% increase in sales and a 20% decrease in active players as a result of bringing back the Ghost Bow skin. So, we'll probably bring it back next year. Next is new game ideas. Quentin, you were in charge of the team heading that project. Would you like to share with us what you've come up with? Yeah, we did that because that's what you told us to do, so we came up with what you wanted. Perfect. You think you could elaborate a bit more? Yeah, so the game starts with a killer, somebody whose goal it is to kill the other players. These players then have to survive and try to escape. I'm listening. So they need to exit through these big doors, but in order to get them open, they have to repair the generators in order to power the doors. That sounds perfect. Let's do it. Oh, thank God. All things considered, Make It to Midnight is fun, but it's still messed up that they just copied another game. If you still don't believe me, here is a list of everything the two games have in common. At the end of the day, all they have to do is acknowledge the fact that they ripped off an existing game, but in all of the promotions and descriptions, they never even hint at it. So please, Rec Room, just admit that you stole somebody else's pizza recipe. That's all we ask. Until that day comes, you can keep yourself entertained by watching some other stuff. These don't have as much food in them, but I say they're still pretty good, so check them out. And unlike Rec Room, I would actually like to acknowledge the fact that this concept of video is not mine. I stole this from Doug. He's an amazing creator and does some really good stuff. So please, if you enjoy this type of video, he's got a lot more of it on his channel. Go check him out.